Hello, space pilot Mr. Cool Guy here. And well, there's nothing necessarily new to report on my journey. How close are we to Exora? I don't know. But I will say this. Nexora did not used to be unified, apparently. Who knew? Yes, it did not start off that way. So, I'm quite interested to learn more about that. I'll have to read on the history of Nexora when I get to the planet. Well, besides what I can learn from Velkor. But, in the meantime, here are 10 more random facts you may or may not know. Starting with fact number 1. Drawn to life. French artist Scaff turns empty buildings into works of art with unreal murals. Scaff's paintings look 3D at first glance, but they are really on flat surfaces. He taught himself tricks like perspective, light and shading to make his art jump off the walls. Scaff will often pose next to his 3D art and become part of the piece. He likes to paint in places people no longer use, like old factories or houses. Once Scaff finishes a painting, the art left behind brings the abandoned place back to life. Dang. 3D art. Painting in and of itself can use some impressive pieces. And then you've got those who can make 3D art. Like the way they paint it on the flat surfaces, in that certain way, it just makes it look like a 3D art sculpture. But it's not. It's really 2D. But it's just the way it looks from a certain perspective. Man, that's incredible. But now, let's move on to fact number 2. Cave of Wonders. Hidden deep in the jungle and mountains of Vietnam is Hang Son Doong, a cave so big a jumbo jet could fly through it. Hang Son Doong is the largest cave in the world and millions of years old. It is more than 4.5 miles or 9 kilometers long, and some parts are more than 650 feet or 200 meters tall. An entire city block, including skyscrapers, could easily fit inside the cave. Despite its great size and age, Hang Son Doong wasn't found by humans until 1990. And there is still much to discover. That's a large cave. No. caves can be small, caves can be medium sized, and yeah, some caves can be big, but a cave so large you can fly a jumbo jet through it, fit a city block inside it? Dang, that is quite huge. That would make quite the cave exploration. Eesh. That is, definitely a cave you could get lost in. Because it's, very large. I mean, just saying. I guess technically a majority of caves you can get lost in them, but yeah, if that thing suddenly caved in, ooh boy, that would be the biggest cave-in ever. So yeah, be careful. But now, let's move on, as it looks like, well, what do you know? It seems that these next facts are also about the cave. How interesting. Well, why don't we go on as we go below the surface for fact number 3, and technically fact number 2 about Hang Son Doong. Hang Son Doong has its own weather. When air from the outside world mixes with the air inside the cave, it forms dreamy clouds within the large passages. Dang, a cave with its own weather? That is... wow. That is wild, my man. Man, that is just... Dreamy clouds. I wonder what makes them dreamy. I guess they probably look like a type of cloud you'd have in a dream or something? Who knows? Maybe it makes you feel like you're in a dream. Let's move on to fact number 4 and fact 3 about the cave. Some cave formations inside Hang Son Doong are bigger than buildings. At 262.4 feet or 80 meters tall, its Hope envisions stalagmite, a cave formation that rises from the ground, might even be the tallest in the world. Dang. That is a tall stalagmite. Man, stalactites and stalagmites can be long. But, certainly not 262.5 feet long. Man, that's quite the tall stalagmite. Jeez. That could give you a workout trying to climb it. Well, let's move on to fact number 5 and fact 4 about Hang Son Doong. There is a forest deep inside Hang Son Doong. A large hole in the ceiling lets in sunlight and makes it possible for 160 foot tall or 48.8 meter trees to grow. Dang. That is... Now, do you hear that there's a forest inside the cave? I mean, it's deep inside the cave, but still. Dang. I mean, that is... I mean, we knew it was large. The fact that there is 160-foot tall trees in there, like enough to make a forest. Man. Makes you wonder if there's any animals that live in the forest of the cave. I mean, probably like bears, because, you know, some bears do live in caves, or they can, like, sleep in caves or whatever. So, you know, at least bears. Man. But now, let's move on to fact number 6 and fact 5 about Hang Son Doon. No one knows where the cave's river flows. In 2019, divers followed it to an underwater tunnel that might lead to another cave. Hang Son Doon could be even bigger than we think. Whoa. That is crazy. I mean, usually when you see a river, you know it's most likely flowing out to the ocean. Right? It's gonna either that or it flows to a lake with a river that flows to somewhere. And that somewhere is a place you don't know where. That's crazy. To not know where a river flows? I mean, I guess, you know, there are certain things the majority of humans don't know. In this case, one of them happens to be where the cave's river flows. Maybe it leads to a secret treasure trove hidden inside the cave. Maybe it leads to a second forest. Who knows? Well, we'll find out eventually. Or, well, one or more humans will eventually find out. But now, let's move on to fact number 7 and fact number 6 about Hang Son Doon. Some of the walls in Hang Son Doon are covered in fossils. The cave formed around 2 to 5 million years ago. More like 2 to 5,000 years ago. Not million years ago. The Earth is not that old. But the fossils are more than 300 million years old. 300 million, no. No. They are more like in the thousands of years. In fact, the cave is definitely more than likely more than 2,000 years old, right? The fossils are probably a little bit younger than the cave, right? In my opinion. Which, it being thousands of years old, that's kind of, that is fact. That is not millions of years old. Right? Because it's fact that the Earth is not millions of years old. It just isn't. But now, it's time for fact number 8. And fact number 7 about Hang Son Dune. The last fact about Hang Son Dune. There are thousands of pearls in Hang Son Dune. Cave pearls, that is. They form over hundreds of years as minerals build up around grains of sand and are polished by running water. Dang. Thousands of cave pearls. I mean, they're more than likely not shiny like actual pearls. But, if they were, dang. Could you imagine having thousands of cave pearls in your collection? Man, it would certainly look beautiful. You could make like a pearl mosaic or something. Like Pebble Picasso. Like he did with pebbles. Only you're doing it with pearls. Cave pearls. Man. That's crazy. And the fact that they take hundreds of years to form. I mean, these minerals just take their time building up around grains of sand, and then the water polishes them into cave pearls. I mean, diamonds aren't easily made either. You gotta put pressure on a rock or some coal for long enough for it to become a pearl. Sorry, a diamond. But now, let's move on to fact number 9. Ready, set, mow. Feeling the need for speed? Seed? Try the sport of lawnmower racing. In 1973, a group of friends from West Sussex, England, set out to invent a fun and affordable sport that anyone could enjoy. A grass cutter on a cricket field caught their eye, and lawnmower racing soon became a reality. Flash forward to 2023 when the British Lawnmower Racing Association celebrated its 50th anniversary. 52 teams of drivers competed in a 12-hour, 500-lap overnight race. 12 hours were spent racing lawnmowers. I mean, there's even a lawnmower racing association. Man, that's great. I mean, that's a way to start your career path towards being a professional racing driver. Like, if you were to give a document on your life, right? you, the professional racer. And then they asked what inspired you to become a race car driver. And you tell them, well, before I became a professional racer, I did some form of racing beforehand. Well, what kind of racing did you do? Well, I was a lawnmower racer. I raced in the Lawnmower Racing Association. Lawnmower racing? Certainly unconventional. Well, hey, it was fun. It's pretty good too. Right. Oh. Man, I mean, that is... Alright, well, let's move on to fact number 10. Twisted trees. Trees can naturally fuse together, but these are the work of one man, Axel Erlandson. Some look like a cube, some form arches, and some are even woven like a basket. In 1945, Axel's family convinced him to share his hobby with the world. A year later, he opened his tree circus. His twisted trees even caught the eye of Robert Ripley. Today you can still see 25 of these amazing creations at Gilroy Gardens in California. Dang, a tree circus. That is... man. I mean, those sound like some interesting looking trees. I mean, you've seen short trees, you've seen tall trees, you've even seen some twisted trees. But that's just quite incredible if you see a tree that looks like a cube, or forms an arch, or even woven like a basket. That is wild. I mean, that is crazy. And well, there you have it. There was 10 more random facts that you may or may not have known, but you know now. Were there any that you knew? If so, let me know down in the comments below. And if you have any additional information on the facts, hey, you're welcome to put that down below too. Or if you want to just say hi, well, that's fine too. You know? If there's any particular fact that really interested you, hey, you're welcome to share your thoughts on that too. And if you enjoy, why not leave a like on the video? And why not subscribe? It'll only take a couple seconds, and it could really help me out at my channel. I'm not saying you have to, but it'd be nice if you did. And you can hit that notification bell too, so that way you know the second I upload another one of these videos, give you a brand new batch of random facts. Well, oh yeah, and please be sure to share this with friends, family, anyone you know, so they have the chance to hear these facts you just heard. Well, anyways, I'm Space Pilot Mr. Cool Guy, and as I always say, when it comes to the facts, near space cadets. To infinity and more facts.